I want to give a quick shout out to these fellow people on the screen: Dora, Michael, Thou Shalt Play More, and Weinstein Gaming for being the top supporters on my channel and for helping me making all this possible. Thank you very much. And if you want to know how to be part on this list and part of the support, stay tuned at the end of the video. Hey everyone, this is Zero Prime and welcome back to Zero Showcase, a series in which I showcase the games I collected so far and other stuff that I collected here in Beijing, and also other trips as well. And we're going to continue on with showcasing more of the PS2 collection, like here for Spy Fiction, which I never really understood, never really heard about it, and what looks like it's very interesting to play. But of course the problem is that, you know, since I can't read or understand Japanese, it just makes it very hard in order to play it to the full extent. Yeah, and that's why, you know, even though it's very difficult to do that, I still collect it because, you know, it's something that, you know, not that many people knew about, nor has ever seen, you know, in the US, for example, that usually that they have to order it, you know, online and such. And that's one of the benefits, I would say, of working overseas here in China. If you're a game collector, then the export, you know, factor of prices and such are, you know, not really much of a problem. But, you know, especially if you're looking towards more like Japanese releases and such, that you can definitely find an abundance of it here at, you know, next to pennies, basically. Because I definitely remember, like, one time where I went to an anime convention in Dallas, Texas, and there was a booth that was selling, like, Japanese import games. And the game I remember was the Final Fantasy Type 0 on the PSP. Now, the guy that was asking for that price was asking for, I believe, was between either 100 or 200 US dollars, and to me it just felt like a bit, you know, off in a sense, because for one thing, the PSP was not, you know, retro yet at the time, as, you know, it was still being used and such. But also the pricing, it just felt like it was price gouging on some items and such, especially for, you know, for people that like the Final Fantasy series and such and can't get the Japanese version of it. Now here, like I mentioned before, on some of these things, you know, since they come in the bundles, that means that, you know, there's definitely some wear, tear, and weathering on some of the packaging of the games and such. And of course there are some, you know, like little, yeah, just like little scratches on some of the CDs and such. But again, that's, you know, that's just a thing for, you know, for owning a pre-owned copy of some games where, you know, it's been used before, so it's you have to expect some wear and tear. And of course we have the One Piece Grand Battle 3, and of course I think there was like one Grand Battle that was released in the US, and like I said here, like, you know, just to expect some damages on some such, because, you know, maybe you might find like a pristine condition one, but you know, it's good to at least have something that's not too damaged and everything. And of course, EA Sports is in the game. And yet how EA has fallen so far. And again, like I said before, I'm not really much of a fan for sports games in general, but I still won't, you know, I still will give it a try and everything, despite that. So, now, yes, we have the Armored Core, which I have heard about this, and based on like the little demo I tried here, it was very interesting, and I'm pretty sure I would have more of a fun experience with this game if I could understand, you know, what I was supposed to do and everything with the controls and such, and if there's a story mode to it as well. Because for me, that's one of the things, one of my criteria in any game, that it can have like a bad review, like a lot of people cannot like it, but I can, enjoy it if it's, if the graphics are decent enough, and such. But if the story is good and interesting, then that's something that I would consider, to be enjoyable. But if the story of a game is like crappy and all that stuff, then that kind of ruins it for me. So yep, I definitely remember. What was it? Hajime Ippo? But basically the famous boxing anime that I remember back that some of my friends were into what was into this anime series. And I definitely remember watching some episodes of this, and definitely remember the one where he showcased the Dumpsy roll when he first showcased that. And here we have the classic audio-visual numbers with you play as a girl with a lot of pretty boys and all that stuff. So there's a game for everybody, not just for boys. And the same thing like with this one with Neo Angelic with. Same thing, play as a pretty girl. You have to pick which boy you like and try to get like the happy ending route. And of course happy ending by, normal happy ending, because again, if it were an H game, then that would not be released on the PlayStation 2. And then of course we have another racing game, Racer Ridge 5. Which is not bad, though I personally prefer the Burnout racing game, because at least in that one, even if you crash into things, you still get all the points. And of course we have the Naruto fighting game, which I can't remember, what was it? Naruto Ultimate Ninja 1? I definitely remember when this first came out that at all anime conventions, people had tournaments for this game on the PlayStation 2 and everything. And I definitely remember how when this anime first came out, that there was like a lot of big hype. And of course nowadays, I didn't really watch all of Naruto because I kind of stopped doing the filler arc, because the filler arc was just kind of like, what the heck, But anyway, in any case, that's all the time I have for this episode, guys. So as usual, thank you for watching. Make sure you leave a comment below, subscribe for more future updates, share this on your Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and all other social medias. And don't forget to hit the like button to help out the channel, and to turn on the notification bell to stay up to date on my channel. And if you guys want to help me out in some shape or form, I do have a Patreon account down below. And as usual, guys, thank you for watching, and have a pleasant day. Bye-bye.